Dean, so get this. In 1995, 4 hikers take a trip to the Ura Valley. 3 of them are never heard or seen again. Hello, my name is Meerah and I'm a Lorekeeper in one of Yogg-Sothoth's libraries, and today I wanted to talk about the Empty Man. This topic was suggested by Lorekeeper Vlad. Thank you so much for your suggestion, and I am so sorry it took so long for me to get to it. So, The Empty Man appears in the comic series of the same name, written by Cullen Bunn, and was published between 2014 and 2019, while the film adaptation would be released in October of 2020, written and directed by David Pryor. The designs done for the film and shown in this video were by artist Ken Barthelmey. The comic book series is set during a pandemic of something called the Empty Man disease, which causes insanity and violence, while the film focuses more on the Empty Man as like an entity, though its infection also causes insanity and violence. We do not know from whence the Empty Man originates, or who was the first to worship it. It is alternatively known as the Other, or the Between One, and many theorize it to be associated with Nyarlathotep. Though honestly, I also saw elements of Hastur in there, so it could be a combination of the two as inspiration. The Empty Man is malevolent, manipulative, and seems to feed on the fear and terror of its victims. It has a slew of supernatural abilities, such as assumed omnipotence, mind manipulation, telepathy, possession, immortality, shapeshifting, reality altering, and it also causes hallucinations. It is thought to embody nihilism and the meaninglessness of existence, and clearly it exists beyond our perception of time and space. Its cult, the Pontifex Society, is determined to create a host for it to inhabit so that it may descend upon the world. It appears to need or require a human host in order to cross over into our plane of existence, which is very un-Nyarlathotep-like, but other than that, that's really the only thing that would make me be like, not sure if actually Nyar, but I digress. The story begins in 1995 when a group of hikers visit the Ura Valley in Bhutan. There, one of the hikers, Paul, follows a sound and ends up falling into a crevice.
No? Or a crevasse. Crevice.
The other hikers find him sitting in front of a kind of a statue created out of skeletal parts inside of this cavern. Paul is possessed by the Empty Man, which causes a sort of infection in fellow hiker Ruthie, who then kills the other 2 hikers and throws herself off a cliff, presumably at the command of the Empty Man. Paul is then found by some monks and presumably returned to the US, where he remains hospitalized for pretty much the rest of his life, because he's like super catatonic. Between 1995 and 2018, Paul's body becomes weaker and weaker for having been inhabited or infected by the Empty Man, as he is just a temporary vessel and not like perfect. And so the Pontifex Society, or Institute as it's been rebranded, embarks on an endeavor to create the perfect host for the Empty Man. They do this, I presume, because the Empty Man is either making them or has whispered to them and they believe it to be their god. The Pontifex Society was officially established in 2013. Their teachings revolve around the idea that all thought feeds and originates from the Empty Man, and that thoughts just move through humans like electricity through a wire. It's very much a nihilistic cult. By 2018, the Empty Man has a very established cult in the Pontifex Society and even has myths about it, similar to like Bloody Mary, with kids believing that they can summon it. The spooky story goes that if you stand on or under a bridge at night or during the day, the vernacular changes honestly, and find a bottle and blow over the top of it, it will make a whistling sound. While thinking about the Empty Man, that on the first day or night afterwards, you'll hear him whispering. On the second day or night, you won't be able to stop thinking about him, and you'll see him or catch him like watching you in the distance. And on the third day or night, he will chase you and catch you, usually leading to some sort of violence or disappearance. In the process, victims experience hallucinations, hallucinations and erratic behavior. The word usage changes depending on who is telling the scary story, but the general premise is very much the same. It's very Ringu-esque, and I like it a lot. The main character, a former detective named James, was created by the Pontifex Institute to be the perfect vessel for the Empty Man, and he only believes that he has a life and a family because they implanted those memories in him. It is revealed near the end that he is a tulpa, which is described by Wikipedia as being a materialized being or thought form in a human shape, originating from Tibetan mysticism. He is in reality only 3 days old, and all of his memories were written into a script by the Pontifex Society. And in the end, he does indeed become the true vessel for the Empty Man, who then kills Paul, who was, unfortunately for Paul, just a temporary ride. Amanda says that there were 500 years between Paul and the carrier before him, if I understood correctly. But then again, Amanda also says that nothing is real, so maybe she's just BSing, who knows. At one point, right before he gets possessed, James visits a plane of existence that the Empty Man can inhabit, I assume. It's sort of like a mindscape, I think. And that is where it fully possesses him and reveals its true form, and is then able to enter our plane of existence. I feel like this is pretty straightforward, though I don't personally recall anything that said Nyar requires a human host, as I mentioned before, in order to walk among humans. In fact, if I remember correctly, he's one of the only, outer gods and eldritch beings that can come and go from Earth as he pleases without being summoned or anything like that. Aside from that, though, I can totally see the similarities, especially in the physical reveal near the end, that, elongated, almost Deadpool sock kind of looking head is very, very Nyarlathotep coded. Yeah, overall, a very neat entity. I also saw similarities to Haster, just vaguely though. Again, mostly in the physical appearance in the first half of the movie, as like a hooded figure. Also, side note, the Cabin 12 Ringu ring reference made me chuckle. I really appreciated that. Honestly, there was a lot of ring influence if you look closely, especially in the second half of the movie. I really enjoy it. The Ring is one of my favorite horror franchises, so anytime anybody pays any homage to it, I do the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where I'm pointing, I'm like, hey, I know that guy. I also felt like there was a little bit of Hereditary spice in the second half, but it could just be because both movies are so good and creepy and kind of goofy with their portrayals of modern day cults. But yeah, I think that in several ways throughout the film, it took inspiration and paid homage to other horror movies while also being pretty unique in its own right, and I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. My husband also really liked watching it. But yeah, the movie overall I think does a really good portrayal / interpretation of what the idea of a modern cosmic horror cult would actually look like, at least in my opinion. Very creepy, sometimes kind of goofy, and the ending was super satisfying. So yeah, if you haven't seen The Empty Man, I would recommend watching it if you're into cosmic horror. It's pretty good. The last couple months have been really rough on me, and I'm honestly just running on fumes right now. A lot of stuff happened, a lot of stress. I keep getting sick, probably not at all helped by aforementioned stress. Blah blah blah. I'm trying to find a balance of like making SCP file related videos, video game and movie related videos like this, and then like obviously the more traditional entities that were conceived around like the 1930s to the 60s, and then before that, of course. But yeah, yep, my brain is fried. I'm just rambling again at this point. Thank you so much for listening to me yap, and thank you so much for watching. Again, special thank you to Vlad for suggesting this. Sorry it took so incredibly long for me to get around to making a video about it. Super special thank you, as always, to my channel members, especially Loremasters, PwNaGeeDOTexe, Beitodesstrafe, General Jehuty, Vlad, and Lexaous. May Yog grant you the knowledge you seek, my friends. Liking and commenting and subscribing on here really helps the channel grow. So if you like this kind of like weird content, you all know the YouTube drill. If you want to support me and the channel beyond just like subscribing, you can become a member here on YouTube or a patron over on Patreon. Lorekeepers get neat perks like early access to new content and names in the credits, but I would also encourage you to go and join as a free member on Patreon, because then you get access to my entire library without ads. I don't have ad monetization here on YouTube. Like, I haven't gotten like enough views to actually unlock it, but they still run ads on my videos and take revenue from them anyway, and the AI ads are so bad, so like any reprieve that I can give people from that, because it's completely out of my control. So that's why I originally started the Patreon, was to offer a alternative. That and everything that's been going on with the AI moderation here on YouTube here lately is honestly really scary. I'm so anxious that I'm just gonna wake up one day and my channel will be like Thanos snapped out of existence, because I hear that it's a lot of like Vtubers, a lot of like science channels, like a lot of clip channels. I think the three big ones that I've seen that have been negatively affected recently is like Josh Strife Says, which is Josh Strife Hayes' clip channel run by Visa, and Visa's the name of his editor, by the way, not like the credit card company. QuickyVideos, which I'm positive I pronounced wrong, but they're like one of my favorite like science channels. They had a video flagged for AI, and then what was the other one? Oh, Kyle Hill also had some of his stuff flagged for AI, because AI has been training off of their stuff, and now because they use AI to flag AI things, the AI is like, oh, that's AI. I recognize that. That's where I learned my AI. I just think that AI should not be involved in moderation at any point in time. And like, obviously I've been subjected to false copyright strikes and claims and had to take a break from YouTube because it was so upsetting, because I was so scared to post anything at all. This is just another, this is just that, but way worse, because they're just outright like banning channels with no appeal from what I understand, and it's really scary. So if you like me and if you like my content, I'd highly recommend going and becoming a member on Patreon for free. You don't have to pay anything, and you get access to all my stuff. The only difference between free and paid members is that paid members get early access by a couple days and their names in the credits. But other than that, you guys pretty much have access to all the same stuff. And it's just nice to have like a backup plan in case I vanish off the face of YouTube. So yeah, I will be on Patreon if that the worst comes to pass. So, oh gosh, I've been rambling again. I'm so sorry. Anyway, if you made it this far, tell me your favorite Eldritch entity in the comments. And I appreciate you for listening to me ramble so much. As you can tell, I'm like really wound up and stressed out and anxious right now, so I apologize. I hope that the video was still coherent enough. And yeah, I hope to see you all next time here in the library.